Are you looking to buy a property in 2024? Well, if that's the case, you're going to want to watch this video where I share with you 3 tips on what I would recommend doing and the tips I give to all of my own buyers to be successful in purchasing a property. Hi, my name is Larissa. I'm a Toronto-based real estate agent specializing in helping first-time home buyers get into the market and helping investors buy properties that tenants actually want to live in. I specialize in helping people in the downtown core of Toronto as well as the GTA. Today, I want to share with you 3 things I tell my own buyers when they're looking for a property, and hopefully these tips will be useful for you as well. If you do enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel for more of this type of information, tips, tricks, everything real estate related in Toronto. So let's dive in. 3 tips I'm going to give you today that I give my own buyers when we're getting started on our search. They may seem simple, but trust me, they are definitely effective. So the first one I would tell you, number 1, is to be prepared. I cannot stress this one enough. And what does that mean? I can give you 2 points. The first one I would say is getting that pre-approval done. So before you actually start shopping for a property, you're going to want to know your numbers and you're going to want to get the pre-approval in place. So whether that means sitting down with a bank or a mortgage broker, you're going to want to have an idea of what you can afford. And this is going to be calculated on things like your income, your debt load currently, so your income to debt ratio, how much debt are you carrying? A lot, not at all. That's going to impact how much you can get in terms of what a lender will give you. They're also going to look at your credit history. So they're going to assess your overall picture, and whether or not it's just you buying or someone else with you will affect your application as well. But you want to come out of this with a really clear idea of what you can afford to buy. So in terms of a purchase price, of course, but also what that looks like on a monthly basis. So even though you're approved for a number that might sound great, if on a monthly basis that's going to be too stressful for you, you're going to want to know that before you start shopping. I always find my clients who are really clear on their finances have a much easier time making decisions and making quick decisions, which is important in our market. And the second thing you're going to want to do is have your deposit ready. That falls under being prepared. So when you purchase a property in the city of Toronto and in the GTA, if you put an offer in and it gets accepted, you do have to deliver your deposit, typically within 24 hours of that offer being accepted. Now, deposits, traditionally speaking, are about 5% of the purchase price as a minimum. So you want to make sure you have access to those funds. Let's say you're buying a property for $1 million. That's going to look like a $50,000 deposit. You're going to need to have access to that deposit within 24 hours. So a lot of people typically don't keep this type of money in their normal checking account. It's usually in a TFSA or an RRSP or some other savings account. That can take 2 to 3 business days to have it extracted into your checking account. So you're going to want to do this in advance, making sure you have your deposit ready, because how bad would it be if you bought something, you love it, and suddenly you don't have the funds to secure that property? That is heartbreaking and so preventable. So in order to be prepared, have your pre-approval in place and have that deposit check ready to go and in your account and accessible. So that's my first tip for you. The second thing that I would recommend to you is to be quick. So when you're seeing places that you like, let's say something comes up on a Monday morning, you see it, you like it, even if you know that the average days on market somewhere is, 30 days, so maybe it sells in about 30 days, it's a slower market, maybe it's a buyer's market, I would still say that you want to be quick. And there's a couple reasons why. So viewing a property right away, let's say it comes up Monday morning, you see it Monday night. Why that's helpful for you is because if you are somebody who likes to take some time to think about things, it's going to just give you extra time to do that, right? So even if it probably won't sell for a couple weeks down the line, it's going to give you a couple weeks to ponder that property, to look at it, to sort of think about whether or not there's things you have to do. If you want to get a second opinion, maybe you want to bring like a handy person through, or you want to get an opinion of your partner or your parents, but you want to see it first. You're just giving yourself a longer runway to make a decision. And the other thing I would say about being quick is that if the market's not hot, things don't sell, in a day or two, you still don't want to necessarily wait to see that property, because if you like it and you've waited 2 weeks to see it or a week to see it, There have been people going through that property for a week or 2 weeks while you've been waiting. If you go see it day one, for example, you have less people who are going to be willing to put in an offer because fewer people have seen it if you do like that home. So it means you have less competition, you have more time to make decisions. So it's really a win-win. So I would always say it's great to be quick when wanting to see a property despite the market conditions. I mean, generally in Toronto, things do sell pretty fast, sometimes the first day. So in some cases, you will have to be quick. But even if the market is the opposite and such that it's sort of more of a buyer's market, I would still say you're going to want to be quick to see it just for those advantages that I mentioned. And the third and final tip I would say is to be knowledgeable. So what do I mean by this? I would say having an understanding of what you can get in your price range, and a realtor should be able to show that to you. I'd be realistic about what you can afford and focus on properties that are within your range. So let's say a hypothetical example is, in an area, there's no detached homes that are selling under 2 million, your budget's $1 million. You're probably not going to take your time looking at detached homes. And the reason why I would advise against doing this is because everything at $2 million is going to look way better than everything at $1 million. And so if you look at things well beyond your range, you're going to start to feel like what's in your range isn't that great after all, because you've just seen what's so much better for twice the price. So I definitely would recommend focusing on homes within range and having the knowledge of what is in your price point before getting started with your search is going to help you so much. And it's going to make sure you're focusing your time and efforts on the places that you actually can afford. Now, the only caveat to this I would say is if the market is sort of a balanced market or there's room for negotiation, if there is even a chance it'll go in your price range, I would still see it. So let's say it's a property that's listed at 1.2, your budget's $1 million, it's been on the market for 90 days. Maybe they will come down. Maybe they will negotiate, right? So I think those opportunities are a little bit different than if we're in a really competitive market and it's going to go well over. I wouldn't waste your time. And then also under being knowledgeable, I would just be knowledgeable with the fact that Toronto real estate can be competitive, and you often will end up in a multiple offer scenario or where you have to compete against other buyers for a property. And I always just tell my clients, mentally prepare for that. Some people, they don't care. Others, that would totally freak them out. And I think it's just a normal expectation going into things that there will be another offer on the table. I always tell my clients, just mentally prepare that there will be. If there's not, it's great. But even if there is another offer on the table or we are in a competing situation, don't let that stress you out too much. Just know that you're going to send your best offer and what you feel is fair value for the home. And you're going to go from there. Whether or not there's someone else there, there's someone else putting an offer, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't prohibit you from doing the same. So be ready to compete and be knowledgeable about the fact that that might very well be something that does come up in your search. So there you have it. Those are my 3 tips that I give my buyers. While they are simple, I hope that they are effective for you. I do find that they help my own buyers when we are getting started with their own searches. So hopefully this is something that's of use to you too. If you have any questions about the real estate market, or you're thinking about making a move, or you have anything you want to chat about real estate related, feel free to book a call using the Calendly link below, or you can also comment on this video if you find these tips useful, or if you have any additional tips that you want to share with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to chat with you very soon.